The one to watch. This is 16 WAPT News, live at 8.
Yes, indeed, a live look outside using our South Jackson Sky Cam right outside of our studios here at 8 o'clock this morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Earl Arms. Brooke Laser joins us now with your weather first. Good morning, Brooke. Thanks a lot, Brooke. We continue to follow the breaking news that President George H.W. Bush has died. 16 WAPT's Matt Pritchard is in Washington with reaction and outpouring support from across the nation. George H.W. Bush was 94 years old. Right now, city leaders say the work continues to restore water pressure to thousands of Jackson residents after a water main break. Now, we want to give you a look at the zip codes affected, and as you can see, it covers a wide area of the metro. 16 WAPT's Jennifer Lott has more. Homeowners aren't the only ones being affected by the water main break. Several restaurants were forced to shut down because of the boil water notice. Many of them have either low water pressure or no water pressure at all.
It's what we use to cook with, it's what we use to make soup with, it's what we use to bake bread with, it's what we use to make food with. It's also what we wash our hands with, and it's what we use to go to the bathroom with. So our policy is when we have no water, we shut down.
Some owners are worried they could be out of business all weekend. Now, the water crisis is also affecting homeowners in Byram. That's because they're on the city of Jackson's water system. We found people stocking up on bottled water, and some of those homeowners admit it is an inconvenience.
It's normal for us to buy the bottled water, but having to deal with the low water pressure too at the same time and not drinking it is inconvenient.
Jackson city leaders say they hope to have the water problem fixed within the next 24 hours. And stay up to date with the water crisis by downloading our 16 WAPT News app or online at WAPT.com. Running back Kareem Hunt was released by the Kansas City Chiefs just hours after a video was released of him shoving and kicking a woman at a hotel. Now, this video is from TMZ, and it shows Hunt pushing a woman, then later kicking her while she was on the floor. The Chiefs released a statement saying Kareem was not truthful when asked about the incident back in February, which is the reason they cut him. After he was cut, Hunt released a statement apologizing for his actions, saying he deeply regrets what he did. Both the NFL and law enforcement are investigating, but so far, police say Hunt has not been charged. Authorities in the Mexican city of Tijuana said Friday they begun moving Central American migrants from an overcrowded shelter on the border to an events hall further away. About 755 migrants boarded buses late Thursday and Friday evening for the trip. Now, concerns had been growing over unhealthy conditions at the sports complex, where more than 6,000 migrants are packed into a space adequate for just half that many people. Mud, lice infestations, and respiratory infections are rampant, but authorities and residents in Tijuana are concerned that the migrants might try to make another mass rush across the border. Their first attempt last weekend led to a brief closure of border crossings that Tijuana residents use to reach jobs and shopping on the U.S. side. Also coming up, police are still looking for the man that shot 2 children on State Street. More on the vehicle they're looking for coming up.
We make sure that officers trained right away to respond to these type of incidents.
Also hear from authorities on how they respond in times of crisis to keep you safe. First, though, a live look outside from County Line Road and I-55. This is our Hilton County Line Sky Cam, where traffic is moving along this Saturday morning. Stick with us for much more news and weather. It's 8:08 and you're watching 16 WAPT News, the one to watch. Welcome back. 8:11 is our time as a shooter remains on the run this morning. Jackson police say the suspect who shot 2 small children may be driving a car just like this one on your screen, a dark Nissan sedan. It has a paper Canon Nissan tag on it, and the driver is accused of shooting into a car with the children and their mother inside on North State Street in front of the UMC. Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antolamumba speaking out about the shooting. He says, quote, "While I am relieved to know that the 2 young victims are expected to recover, I am reminded with this terrible circumstance that it is far past time to have a very real discussion about gun violence in this city and this nation." U.S. Marshals are adding to the Crime Stoppers Award after the shooting of those young children near UMC. Investigators say the 3-year-old and 1-year-old are still in the hospital, but they are in good condition. Right now, hospital police are looking at how their officers responded.
We have our very own active shooter instructor here. So, and every new officer comes on campus that we hire, then we make sure that officers trained right away to respond to these type of incidents.
The chief praised officers for how they responded, saying their active shooter training paid off. Frontier Airlines passengers were the victims of a terrifying engine disaster. ABC's David Curley has more on the nightmare on board that flight. A Southwest Airlines agent is under fire after appearing to make fun of a 5-year-old girl's unique name. This story has been going around social media for a little while. Now, the girl's name is spelled A-B-C-D-E, the first 5 letters of the alphabet, but it's pronounced Ab City. The mother of the girl says the agent took a picture of her boarding pass and posted it on social media, mocking her. She also says the agent was laughing and pointing at him.
Asked me, Mom, why is she laughing at my name? And I said, you know, honey, not everybody is nice and not everyone's going to be nice. And, you know, it's unfortunate.
And Southwest Airlines said in a statement that they extend a sincere apology to the family. They're also looking into the matter and following up with that employee involved. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, even for your dog. Sunshine Mills is recalling several varieties of the dog food it manufactures because they may contain elevated levels of vitamin D. Affected brands include Evolve Puppy, Sportsman's Pride Large Breed Puppy, and Triumph Chicken and Rice Dog Food. The bags have a best buy date of November 1st of this year through November 8th of 2019. These products were distributed to retail stores nationwide. Symptoms to watch for include vomiting, loss of appetite, increased thirst, and increased urination.
Yesterday.
If this is the roller coaster ride, then I think this part is us heading to the top with the 70s, and then
the thrill.
Yeah, then we go down. That's where I guess the thrill comes in.
Yes,
so.
I'm excited for colder weather.
Oh, are you, huh?
I am.
All right, well, I guess, you know, you like putting on coats and everything. So,
yeah,
you know.
I need one right now with that fan on again.
Here we go.
Every weekend morning.
Brick is talking about my fan. I need my fan. Oh, sorry. You know, we'll turn it off a little later. Thanks a lot, Brick.
Thanks, Earl.
The Salvation Army needs your help to provide Christmas presents to families in need. 16 WAPT Shalika Powell has more on the angel tree and the program's impact. Now, if you can't afford to adopt an angel, you can drop off a new toy at the Salvation Army on Presto Lane or the Angel Tree Toy Shop. Families will pick up the gifts on December 19th.
So I was driving slowly and listening to the radio and listening to the news on the radio. And the newsman started to react. And at the same time that he started to react to the earthquakes, my truck started shaking pretty violently underneath me.
Wow, that was Roger Meeks, the father of a Jackson woman, describing what he was doing when two earthquakes rocked Anchorage, Alaska, back to back. Now, the first one measuring 7.0 on the Richter scale, rocking buildings and shattering roads. A few minutes later, a second quake sent people running from offices and some taking cover under desks. ABC's Alex Stone reports. The 800-mile Alaska oil pipeline was shut down while crews were sent to inspect for damage. A boy with a dream was handed a setback, but it didn't stop him. As a matter of fact, his story has inspired millions. Here's ABC's David Muir. Yeah, how cool is that? Been following his story for a little bit, and Jake, of course, that culminating with his final walk as a senior at USC. How awesome is that?
Awesome.
Yes,
always a great way to start the day.
Absolutely. And not a good way to start the day, though, rain. And we have a little bit of that in our forecast.
Just a little bit.